Going live. Here we are. Welcome back on Wednesday. Markets continue potentially pricing in heating inflation. We've heard rhetoric, I don't know, forever, for as long as I can remember, that inflation was cooling or that it was about to start cooling or something along those lines. However, PPI coming in, released at 8:30 East today, hitting month over month 1.4%, forecasted at 0.6%. That is a huge miss and a massive indicator that inflation is still here. Inflation has not left. Realistically, we all know this in our everyday lives. Has anyone bought anything recently? I don't know. Have you bought any gas recently or any other items? It's pretty obvious to consumers that inflation is still here and that it is not, I wouldn't say not even cool. It doesn't feel like anything is even slowing down in its pace of price increases. Headline, year over year up 6%. So this is the crazy one as well. Forecast at 4.95. These measures, PPI, are the average change in selling prices received by U.S. producers, which is wholesale inflation, the bigger picture inflation, like the cost of everything at its most quantized, at its biggest numbers. And it's a leading indicator of what consumers will eventually pay. This feeds into the future CPI numbers that we get and the Fed depends on. People for a long time been then saying we need interest rate cuts. We need a 1% interest rate cut when Powell leaves. Guys, this number, today's CPI print or PPI print, and the implications on the next prints into the future is the exact opposite of what the Fed would cut into. Honestly, these are insane numbers. These are like the biggest ones. I think the biggest increases since like the bear market bottoms back in 22. And one has to think, you know, we have had some really weird numbers coming from, let's say, like the Bureau of Labor over the last year, or even over the last many years, not even just last year, multiple years. And it is becoming pretty obvious that these numbers are getting cooked. So if PPI is this explosive, these are probably the cooked numbers. What are the real numbers looking like? And it just, I don't know, your imagination can probably bring you there. With oil sitting at what, $100 a barrel, no signs of that chilling, honestly. It's silly to think that inflation will slow down or that it will reverse or any of these things. Really, it is pure delusionomics or hopium that this will happen. So why does this matter? This is a major upside surprise. This is the largest jump in PPI on the month since early 22, like I said. Energy prices, no surprise, were the biggest driver. Oil is not just energy, though that is a huge factor when it comes to inflation, the energy cost of oil. It is also in all of our products. Even if we were to remove fossil fuels completely from our energy chain, we would still be dependent on them for a very long time to make things like plastics, waxes, different kind of lubricants, all kinds of things. Many of the base products we use source in from oil. We also had some crude oil inventory numbers come in, and the crude stock fell sharply. 452 million barrels. That's a 452 million barrels, a 4.3 million barrel drawdown. This was larger than the recent trends and supportive for oil prices. Doesn't seem like we're going to be holding on to our stock of oil, and it doesn't seem like the production of oil is going to get back to where it was pre-Iran. We are not sailing this ship towards a cooling inflation environment. There isn't just one actor to blame. We can't say it's just Trump. We can say many of the factors are just Trump, like being in Iran and tariffs, but we can't say that the whole problem is Trump. The U.S. government has made it clear that neither side of any aisle has any interest in honestly cooling inflation. They've made no attempts at passing anything or even advancing anything that may address the problems, right? The government deficit is larger than it's ever been. We passed the big, beautiful bill, which is on track to I don't even know the numbers there. Trillions and trillions. We're just like losing track of these numbers. The government has no interest in doing this. And so what position are we in? What position is the Fed in? You know, a lot of people calling for the removal of the Fed and things like that, like we have in crypto for a long time. But what are we going to do if we get rid of the Fed? I think the Fed have largely acted as brakes over the last decade, 2 decades. When I mean brakes like the gasoline pedal, the gas pedal and the brake pedal. Slow things down, just slowing down this inflation. The government wants to just keep printing. And we as consumers probably are split. Those with assets maybe a little more bullish on inflation. Those without them, certainly not. I believe this month we also had the first reading in many years where inflation is outpacing wages, and that is no surprise. I don't think anybody is surprised by that actually has a wage and buys things. Everything is becoming less affordable. The things you could afford even a few years ago, you no longer can. Even if your wages have increased, this is the illusion that we have been living in, where inflation's here, but people are making more money. Not happening. Not happening. Maybe on paper, maybe the number is bigger, but our purchasing power is not getting bigger, and we are getting deeper and deeper into this hole. So what do these numbers mean for today? In the next week or two? This is certainly hawkish for the Fed, as I said. Hotter inflation reduces the odds of any kind of cut. We may see cuts for this year pushed off into next year. Markets today, bond yields. So I actually got an alert earlier. The 10-year. Let's check out the 10-year. Typically yields higher. Let's take a peek here. Yes. Ooh. US 2-year back to 4%, showing a bias towards a 25 BPS hike over the next 2 years. Back up to March's highs here, where we saw a slight retracement. Back to 4% on the 2-year. On the 10-year, this is the alert I actually got earlier. The 10-year is very slow moving, but the 10-year is right now breaking past March's high. We got a little excited about this as chart nerds back in March. Same kind of action, a slight pullback, but now reaching for higher highs. The 10-year yield is certainly the one that everyone is afraid of running away. It shows that the markets are not looking at a disinflationary or a lesser inflation period coming for the midterm, mid future to even farther out future. The large draw on the oil supplies is probably bullish for oil and energy stocks in the short term. Adds tightening supply to the already tightened supply picture. It's likely the PPI will be the main market mover today. It is a clear signal that inflation is not dead. And here we are. It's keeping markets on the edge. Fed speaker comments later this week. Did we actually have the Fed chair nomination vote? That is today. I don't know when, though. It just says tentative. Forecast is to pass. I guess pass Warsh. What do you guys think? Certainly, we're having a new Fed chair nominated, accepted person is not a bad thing. It adds certainty to the Fed, to markets. But it will be interesting if they fail to pass the vote. The forecast is that it will be passed, but it would be a mix-up and more uncertainty if we see something else happen. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't happen here. Maybe Powell stays on as the Fed chair somehow. Maybe Trump will just say, well, since we're not getting cuts anyway, let's just keep Powell. That would be an interesting outcome. This cycle is different, baby. You told me that Warsh was the Fed chair months ago. But he lying. He's still not the Fed chair. He wasn't months ago. He's still not. He could pass this nomination vote today, which is likely. But he wasn't. He will be. But how many names did we have, right? We could have said that about any of them. Wasn't it like Besant and I don't know, all these other people? I think the most entertaining outcome is that Powell remains. That would be, for me, the best. Real quick, let's see. Brent rallying slightly on this. U.S. oil down. This whole world is gibberish. U.S. oil's down despite this. Trump and it seems like every billionaire went to China today. What a weird, what a weird world, guys. I don't even mean politically about this. I don't even, it's not even what I'm getting at. It is strange that the president of the United States, what's the list? What's the list? Damn it, paywall. How many CEOs went? Let's see. The vice chair and president of Meta, Dina McCormick, Kelly Ortberg, executive of Boeing, Ryan McInerney, executive of Visa, Schwarzman, Blackstone, Brian Sykes of Cargill, Jane Fraser of Citi, Jim Anderson of Cohort. This isn't even the whole list. That's not even the whole list. We have Musk, Tim Cook, Fink Kwang. Like, we have, I don't know, all the oligarchs in one spot in China right now. What, under the premise of deals, what the hell is happening? Are we going to, like, I feel like we are going to hear that, I don't know, like they gave China Taiwan or something. Like, we made a deal, we made a deal, we sold them Taiwan. Like, but we don't own Taiwan. But yeah, we sold it to them, or I don't know. I can't put it past anything. Nothing is too strange to be true in 2026. I guess markets are likely waiting to hear the outcome of that. I don't even know what the outcome is. What is going on with it? Hit that like button. That's right, ADAs. China, he's all washed up. They're planning our future. Yeah, to sell our future. To, like, what good for you and I could come of this? I cannot imagine any. Those people have nothing in common with us. Let's be real. They'll lock us all down. I don't know what's going to happen. We did what, Pickle? Yeah, we have all of our bajillionaire overlords in China right now. What could they possibly be doing? What possibly do the CEOs of these companies, like, what are they doing? I don't know. That's probably the biggest news outside of this crazy print today. Had these things happened in reverse, I would have said that this was a distraction, right? These numbers came out and then they all decided to go. I would say in bigger news, no, it's not bigger news, but in bigger news in my mind, it's not actually bigger news. I don't know if you guys saw this. This is kind of off topic, but maybe market related. Swatch and Ademars Piguet, I don't know how to pronounce this, came out with the collab, and Twitter and a lot of the internet was super buzzing on this collab. Myself, honestly, myself included. When I saw, and I'll find the picture that I originally saw. When I saw this is really grainy. There's a better picture somewhere. When I saw this, I was like, these watches are fire. I want one. Like, I want one. I don't know. I don't even know. I'll get red. What other colors? You gotta match them, I guess, to your skin tone, and then buy clothes around them. But I was like, these are fire. They're minimalist. They're dope. I would want one in, like, 2 or 3 colors. And I was like, finally, I honestly, I might go try to get one. So I looked up Swatch stores. There's not a lot. And I had a moment where I was like, maybe I'll go on Saturday when they drop and try to get one. Well, apparently that was just AI slop someone put out. Those watches. Here's what they really are. I mean, I guess it was an AI slop, considering the product is like almost the same thing as those, but whatever. This is what they actually put out. These are not wristwatches. These are like stopwatches. What is this? What is this? Now, like, I honestly, these aren't the worst things in the world, but I have no interest in these. The thing I liked about the slop I saw was like the minimalism of them. Just clean, nice, monochrome, like, thing. What is this? What a blunder. They like made this official yesterday or the day before, and like, what a huge blunder. This is the biggest rug since whatever the last rug was in crypto. Like, what a rug, man. Oh, I know some people like these. Some people are digging it. Not I. No, not me. Big rug. So for me, that was the biggest news, because I was honestly about to go drive, I don't know, it was like 2 hours or something, and like maybe try to get one. I'm actually thankful because now I'm floating. I'm actually thankful because now I don't have to do that. Now I'm not at all in any way looking to sit outside and wait for them in the cold. It's actually not cold, but yeah. They will team up to open the strait. I mean, that's it. Sure, that would be interesting. But like, why are what do CEOs of companies have to do with the strait? I don't know. China is amazing, and so are the Chinese, says Flex. I was not making any comments towards that. That wasn't what any of my comments were about. You guys know my opinion. People are people all over the world. Doesn't matter where they're from. And we should not allow governments to represent us, to say, oh, government's bad or good, so the people are bad or good. That's cope. That's BS. They make great food. Great food. I would like to go to China. The biggest rug since Hex. There we go. They're called pocket watches. There you go, GoldenEye. Dude, but what? Why? Why pocket watches? Why are we making pocket watches? Who's even using a watch for the time anymore? It's just like an accessory. I guess I could see, you know, people liked Labubu's for a while, and they just like kind of like use them as keychains. Maybe these things are like the next iteration of that, where they're just gonna like use them as keychains, right? What's up, Captain Crypto? How are you, man? Dude, what are they doing in China? What are they doing in China? What are they doing? I want to know. I want to be in that meeting. I want to know what they're doing. Let's take a look at some different charts here. Bitcoin not enjoying today, not thriving off that inflation print somehow. I don't know what drives markets anymore. After not testing the 200 moving average on the day. On Monday's stream, we were incredibly close. It looked like it was going to happen, you know, as soon as I turned the stream off. We have sold off since then. We've broken our low since the 7th of May. Lower high, now into a lower low. This is not a great look. Not a great look at all. Boo. We could say, maybe it's coming back to test this as support. Sure. Not what I want to see. I really was getting excited about a break of the 200-day. Any kind of higher high, holding a support and beginning or continuing an uptrend, starting something new. After coming just close to it and rejecting, looking bad again. Now it hasn't been doom territory. There is reason to look for support. There's plenty. You have this order block here on the way down. You can see the daily tested it on the way up with closes almost at the exact same level. Then when it pushed through, there was very little resistance. We haven't come back to it. Here we are. But what this says is we need to reverse now. Like, we cannot really see lower. We just see this reverse right about now. We're at 78.9. Almost anything lower looks really bad. Really bad. I don't know exactly what news pumps Bitcoin anymore. I don't know if there is any. It's like inflation hot, dump. Inflation cool, also dump. You can see here when I place this horizontal, nice little support potentially. I think intraday, or maybe even intra-week, can look for a bounce here. 80.3, maybe back to today's open if we close down today. But man, we were doing everything right. It was all looking so good. It seems we've lost the momentum. Fingers crossed that we can regain it. But until something exciting happens, we have a lot of other charts to look at. Copper. I think copper is at all-time high. Copper, you at all-time high? Copper's at all-time high. All right. Okay. Sure. Copper was running with gold and silver earlier in the year, at the end of last year. And with gold and silver, it cooled off. Didn't really do much. And now here we are at all-time high. Our target that we did not hit before, 675, which comes from the 1618 extension, just from back here in 21. Next upside target would be about $8. We see a lot of confluence up here with different fib pools at about $8. $8 in single digit cents. Yeah. Above 8's a clean 10. Could be interesting. Wonder what a world looks like where oil and copper are like 2x what they were months ago. Wonder what that actually looks like. Copper seems to move very slowly, though so did gold and silver for a very long time until they got hot. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's time for copper to make a little run here. Let's set another alert. We got a bunch of charts we can look at today. Rio, I don't even remember what that one is. AAIO, Circle, Dell. Where are these from? Oh, these from Monday. Pooh. There's not as many all-time highs happening. NVIDIA, however. I wonder, should we look at all the companies of the people that have CEOs in China right now? Let's see what they're doing. Interesting. Interesting. Are they all at all-time high today? Apple saved itself. That's a great reversal. We'll look at Apple. I haven't looked at Apple in a while. Right, so there's Apple. There's NVIDIA. I think the NVIDIA CEO is there. All-time high, all-time high. What else is there? What other companies did I say? Market has been irrational for the month. Dude, market's been irrational for like a year. You know, Bitcoin doesn't drag down AI. I don't think that they're super intertwined. Watch China buy Alaska. Okay. I can see it. Let's take a look at all. I have to find a full list. Let me just ask Grok. I feel like this is a great thing for Grok, for like AI to do. AI. What CEOs or what companies sent executives to China with Trump this week? Let's see the full list. While I'm doing this, yep, Tesla for sure. Duh. While I'm pulling these up, because we're going to check this out, I need you to double tap the screen. I need you to like the stream. I need you to comment. I need you to vote in the poll. I need you to subscribe. I need you to engage. Let's get a little bit of engagement going. We're live on many, many platforms. All right, we have Apple, Tesla, NVIDIA. Got it. NVIDIA, Blackstone, Boeing, Cargill, Citigroup, Coherent, GE Aerospace, Goldman Sachs, Lumina, MasterCard, Meta, Micron, Qualcomm, and Visa. Let's get all the tickers for these. Okay. Tesla not at all-time high, breaking the pattern here so far. This is going to be an interesting little dig here. We're going to check out all the charts of the companies that are accompanying the president to China today. All right, Apple, Tesla, NVIDIA, BlackRock. Let's look at BlackRock. Pull it up. Might have to close the door. The wind keeps opening and closing my door. You probably can't hear it, but I can. BlackRock. BlackRock not at all-time high. All right. It would have been very interesting if they were all at all-time high. Maybe that's too much to ask. Blackstone BX. Chips. Cargill is the odd one. Yeah, what even is that? Blackstone, Boeing. BA, Boeing. Shutting the front door is an ag company. I don't know. Maybe it's something to do with like, because I know our agriculture is in some trouble this year. Boeing. Boeing looks all right. Boeing looks all right. Lows coming up, flat top. Cargill. No ticker for Cargill. You're right. So Cargill is definitely the odd one out, as it's the only company that is not publicly traded. Citigroup's ticker is just C. That's wild. It's like people in Dubai who have a license plate that's like 1. Not quite at all-time high, but looking crazy. So what else we got? Who else is in China with Trump? Coherent on the NASDAQ. Private out of MN. We do sell our farmland to China? Probably selling all of our farms to China. That's probably what they're doing. Here we go. Here's another one at all-time high. So far, the companies at all-time high that have accompanied Trump to China are Coherent, Apple, NVIDIA. Not Tesla, not BlackRock, not Blackstone, not Boeing. Citigroup is close. GE Aerospace. It was a bunch of tech companies and Cargill. It's weird. What are they doing there? GE Aerospace, not at all-time high. Just saw a death cross actually on the day. But pretty damn close. Trading about 50 points off from its all-time high. Goldman Sachs. I think it's interesting to just pull these all up because I do not have charts for all these. My computer might hate me. It's like way too many tabs, bro. All right. Goldman Sachs Group, not at all-time high, but I'll be damned if it doesn't look like it's about to be. Just off the high, higher high here today. Maybe that's what we should be looking at more so than just like, are they at all-time high? Are they at all-time high? And we should probably be looking at, are they breaking out? Have they broken some market structure? Are they hitting a higher high today, right? So far, they all, I think, have put in like at least local highs today. Lumina traded up and now traded back down. Dude, what in the hell? What are they gonna say? What is it that they're like doing there? I have to know. MasterCard? No, MasterCard's not doing nothing. You would wonder if it's like AI related, but I don't know. I have a really bad feeling about it. That is my honest take. Is you put all those billionaires into a room together to do anything, and whatever they do, you can guarantee it will be focused toward them making money, towards improving their situation. The last thing on their minds will be improving our situation for sure. Oh, Micron. I already have Micron. Micron at all-time high. We've been watching for that. I didn't even notice I was kind of ranting there. 𝐂𝐡, Qualcomm. At all-time high today, pulled back a little bit. And finally, Visa. Last but not least, Visa. With another single letter ticker. Not at all-time high. A lot of these look similar though. Perhaps that's just what all the stocks look like. You entered a long on Ethereum, Cryptodon. I think my Ethereum long got cooked. The visit focusing on secures deals for China, or securing deals. But you know, line that means nothing. Securing deals. What does that even mean? It means and what is the CEO of Visa doing to secure deals? Soybeans and aircraft managing tensions regarding Taiwan. I feel like they're just going to say, like, we're going to hear, it's like, we gave them Taiwan. Lard, have mercy. What's up, Wick? Engage. Thank you, Bob Struck. Who's over there? What's up, Forex Gold? Let me refresh the TikTok feed really quick. Wow, this guy says he has a 99% sure signal. No, you don't. You're scamming. Oh, yeah. Check the bio, his link in his bio. Of course he's scamming. Anybody who wants you to go click a link is absolutely scamming. I guess the question is, why can I not boot these people? Don't know. I don't understand. We've re-streamed onto all the platforms again because I got fiber optic internet and it's beautiful and it allows me to do all the things that we couldn't do before. So here we go. The companies in China, we have Qualcomm, again, Visa, MasterCard, Lumina looking interesting. Goldman Sachs looking very interesting. This little higher high here, right underneath the all-time high. That is a spicy maneuver. GE Aerospace, not my favorite one out of all of these, to be honest. What's up, 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐫𝐭? Boeing Company. I think this could have a longer term, more bullish outlook. It's kind of like a flat top, rising lows, maybe retest of the highs. Boeing is a company probably that shouldn't go back to all-time high. They probably should be broken up and devoured by their stuff. What's up, Blackstone? Blackstone looking the most bearish, rejected from its 200-week moving average after trading below it in March of this year. That's setting up some kind of falling wedge there. Copper at all-time high. What else we got? Do I like to stake tokens? I've always been skeptical of staking. I don't mean like the concept. Yield is great. I would love yield, but I've always been skeptical about things that can stake, like proof of stake. And over time, I guess that's aged well. I have staked many things, and none of them over time have gained value. Like, I've gained the yield of it, but overall, the assets seem to just go down more than the yield, and it has not been a profitable venture for me. I've had some Cardano staked for like almost a decade at this point. Talk Bitcoin beyond sport. You don't have to ask me. Don't gotta say it to me twice, dude. There's not a ton to say, to be real. Bitcoin has not tested the 200-day. It got very close. This is the only thing I was talking about earlier, is maybe some kind of scalp trade here for a short-term play to that 200-day moving average, because we didn't get a test. Something like that. Maybe just back to today's open, like 2.4% gain. There's probably a scalp long somewhere here, but I just don't like this. Things were looking very good. We're not doomed yet here. This low didn't doom us to some kind of terrible future, but what it does do is it really does push the brakes. It resets a lot of that momentum that we've been building. After failing a higher high right below the 200-day moving average, breaking a lower low, we are just not showing the strength that we did show, at least for a little bit here, at the end of last week. The 200-day moving average is exactly where I need to, it's just what I need. I need to see the 200-day broken. I need to see it potentially back tested or held, and then we can look for this cycle to play out differently. Maybe if that were to happen, we would see Bitcoin move to just under 100,000. I'd see probably some excitement and interest there, reject, spend a while moving sideways and down, and then maybe you could move back up to that all-time high, and you could break out of the predicted, we're going to have another low, we're going to see the cycle low in October. Like, we can start changing that above the 200-day. But Bitcoin decided, and inflation's running hot, so I better sell off. I better move away from it. Maybe the only good news about that is it did not, I'll move this over because that didn't fill yet. It did not actually test the 200-day. If this had moved to it and then sold off, I think that would be a more threatening rejection. I still think the 200-day will be tested, but you can see as time goes on, this will get lower and lower and lower, and price eventually will meet it. It's already come down. If you zoom out, the 200-day moving average has already come down from when we lost it in November of last year, from like 110K. The 200-day moving average is down 25%. It's pretty big. What's up, Wick? How's the puppy? She's an old lady now. Beans. She can't get up here, though. That's the problem. This is on the 3rd floor. It's like a whole room, but the stairs are really steep. She can't get up here. I still am setting up. Once I have it all set up in here, and like cables managed, I'll make like a bed for her. Maybe I can make a bed with a ramp so she can come sit right here. That'd be cool. What's up, Poochie? AI will be using MasterCard for its payment rails. Sure. Very. Brain Lady Julie, morning from California. How have you been, Julie? Julie, save us. This market has been rough. What's up, Pip Sage? Stream buffering for anyone else? It shouldn't be. On my end, it says the stream is perfecto. It says perfect. Across everywhere. What's up, Scott Luck? Still around, Dim. So Scott and Julie are here. Those are some names that do not come by all the time. What's happening today that's bringing the boys to the yard, the boys and the girls to the yard? Web dev newbie. I regret every non-Bitcoin thing I did in crypto over the years, brother. Same, dude. Like I can say, well, it made money on some, and like, yeah, but like overall, had I just only bought Bitcoin, I don't know, I'd probably be better off. Or at least virtually everything that I have done outside of Bitcoin was suboptimal, put it that way. Suboptimal. Not as good as simply just having taken the lower risk, less stress, and sat in the corn. I have too many charts up now. MicroStrategy also pulling back with Bitcoin breaking that same low, potentially. Breaking the low. Very close to the descending trend. What do we got here? The strength from strategy was unexpected on my part. Up 18% on NBIS. At this point, we're all just copy trading Nimoy. We're all just gonna follow Nimoy. Nimoy, what are you? NBIS? Sure, let's pull it up. Nebis Group. All-time high, of course it is. Of course it's at all-time high. Jeebs. GBHeebies. Wow. Well, I certainly would not buy this myself. No interest in. Damn, you're at 18% up today. That's crazy, bro. I don't like it to chase up, but it's starting to feel like there's little option other than chase up. I think that's a bad sign. That's probably a toppy sign. Measure move target here 109 or 110, currently trading at, or 210, currently trading at 210, 211. Unless, I mean, you entered today, it's probably still time to take profit. That is wild, dude. What is going on? Everything is moving like crypto, or at least how crypto used to move. Now crypto's moving like everything else. Oh man, what's up, Kang? How you doing, bro? ISJ over on the TikTok. I see you. Like what? If you don't stop 210, 270. That's a pretty chart though. Money flow looks good on the week. That's on the week, man. That's still trucking. On the day, on a strong close, momentum still moving. Wow, you already back tested that high, so there goes my normal play of just like, oh, we'll just look back at the high. Look back at the high. I guess we're not gonna do that. I have nothing for you except upside targets, my friend. Anybody else been watching NBIS, Nebius Group? Very hard to recommend a play here of any kind for me. It's at all-time high. Shorting at all-time high is always a tricky and often unsuccessful game. Longing at all-time high feels good, but usually ends up bad. So all I can say is what 270 above. If it doesn't just turn around here today, 270 above, looking pretty fresh. StakingRewards.com is a good place to start your research. I have never been there, Crypto Stevo. Maybe I should. The only thing you have not regretted was buying Ethereum. Yeah. You know, like I said, there's out of the 300-400 things I bought in crypto over the last decade. Let's say 400 of them. Probably like 300 of them, 350 of them are just worth nothing now. Then there's like 50 out of those 50 left. Maybe like 5 of them I've made any real money on. And then everything between is like, you know, just very minimal gain or very, you know, break even, or none of it really has been a great move. What's up, Dewey? Even if Boeing goes back to all-time high, I'll probably have a crash landing. Yeah. When I was looking at Boeing, the chart, I think it does look good to make a maneuver back to the all-time high, but I don't know. Boeing as a company seems just like a weird company to be like fundamentally, foundationally bullish on. They make planes that are not great. They're the best in the world, but the planes that have issues all the time, they're largely just kind of floated by being too big to fail, something like that. I don't know. Boeing's certainly not my area of expertise when it comes to charts. Well, not charts, companies. But I don't hate this setup. I really do not. I like the lows coming up. I like the tests of the 618 here at 241. To me, it looks like a chart that wants to break up. Maybe that brings you back to the all-time high. Maybe it brings you just to the distribution that we saw back at the end of 2018. Jeez. At 316. I don't like Boeing. I don't like Boeing. Boeing is probably an awesome company decades ago. Probably back here, they were boss. Now I'll buy Boeing if they take the cigarette, the ashtrays out of the planes. Then I'll be bullish. Man, Bitcoin. I wish there was more to go over with Bitcoin. It's kind of just back to the pile. You know, they took our gerbs. We're back to the pile. We were doing really well. We still can do really well. I think the argument for me is the low has to be in. Like, this has to be the intraday low. We got to see it rally from here. We got to see strength back to the 200-day, and we have to take it. Take the 200-day, and we can get very bullish. We can get very euphoric, very bullish very quickly. Reject from the 200-day and things get very ugly, but really we'd just be back to where we were. You know, we've been in the same spot this whole time. We have been in a potential dead cat bounce, a potential momentum leg, a potential, you know, ascending wedge, whatever it is, just like looking to break down. That all can change up here. But as long as we're underneath it, not happening. I welcome something new and spicy. I'm bringing it in. Bringing in all that good vibe. China steals all of the USS tech. We don't need to give it to them. That's to my knowledge, that is true. You know, I will say that technology, information, I don't feel as if, like, I don't agree with the way that we do it in the world. Everything should be open source. All information should be shared. It's all a net sum game, right? What's going on here? I understand why that doesn't work with capitalism, but I think it should all be shared. Mostly because you just can't prevent other people from doing that, right? If you can't stop something, the problem is with it itself, with the system itself. SanDisk 1600 has not seen new highs, but potential long filled 1450 previous high pullback. Long in this is, like I say every time, it's a dangerous game, man. This thing has rallied a ton. You got to think realistically, how much more upside can you have from here? What's the downside potential? There's a lot of downside potential. Oftentimes when I look at charts, I remove any kind of knowledge about what's behind the chart that I have. It's easy because oftentimes I don't know. I don't know what the stocks do, but people will say, well, their company, you know, that's not going anywhere. It's not going to change. They're only going to do more business. Why would we think that they'd go down? Well, because markets just don't really it doesn't seem to matter. It doesn't really seem to, like, be a thing, right? Things go up and down. When they go up too much, they are usually on a countdown to moving down. When they move down too much, they're usually on a countdown to moving up. Be careful. Be careful with all these things, especially the more you hear them, the more you see them brought up here, and I'll bring them up because more people are talking about them, and so I want to look at them. The more energy and the more hype around something, in my experience, has always been the closer they were to being done. So just be careful. Don't get caught. What is this one? 𝐂𝐴. I don't even think that this was one of them I looked up. How do we get to this? Oh, wait, no. This is one of the charts in China right now. Coherent Group. What do they do? Chat, I know you know. What does Coherent Group do? They are up 20% on the week at all-time high, 405. That's a strong rally. Let's zoom out. Lab USDT, that cryptocurrency looks very good. Why do you think that, Bruno? You'd like to share my analysis with you? Go ahead. You can always share analysis in the Discord. Discord.gg/TomCrown. It's a free Discord. Always welcome to share analysis there. Put these charts on regular and they make no sense. Logarithmic come into play in the TradFi markets. We are well above pretty much anything that we can use fib-wise on high time frames. We can zoom in and look at lower time frame extensions, like right here. Looking for 420. Nice. Nice. 420 up to like 450. 420, blaze it. Always a good number. I like 420. I'm gonna take 420 on on coherent group. Incoherent name, but a coherent name. 420. That's right. AI lasers. Of course, Nimoy knows. Of course, you know. We got hit. We're getting Nimoy on the payroll, or we're gonna get on Nimoy's payroll, I guess, because he's been making all the money. AI chips. Light transmission. Getting rid of copper. Weird, because copper's at all-time high. What's up, Makar Hart? Lasers were cool. Lasers still are cool. You're bullish on rare. Actual digital art. Bro, I don't know. I can never be bullish on blockchain and art. We went through the whole NFT thing. It came, it went. We saw people talk about it forever. So glad I never put money into that. But I put enough money into other dumb crap that did not play. Apple at all-time high. Apple's CEO, Tim Cook, currently in China. Deciding our fate, I guess. Like the fate of us is likely what they're doing. 300. Where did these fibs come from? I think, did Apple have a split? Yeah, stock split, that's why. So these lines are likely based on old chart data that's gone. Has Apple back tested the high it broke? No. Kind of, not really. 288. 288. Could be looking for a long around there. Upside 316. 333. This does look good though. I mean, you broke your high. You tested the 200-day. You held it. You broke your all-time high. You have a bullish kissing here of the 50 and 200-day moving averages. You're up in space. 320. Something like a 10% upside. Let's zoom out. Maybe that will help. Look at all these lines from when the pre-split. What were we doing? What analysis were we doing, I wonder? Here we go. Not a lot of pullbacks here. Apple, very bullish. This is a very bullish chart for like the last many decades. I guess that makes sense. Up to the right with how many little periods? 200 something. They've spent like a year or two pulling back over the last few decades. Broke high. Wow, that played out. Higher. Retested higher. Wow. Broke, retested higher. Man, yeah. Look for 288 in the future, and until then, 400. 400. So 300 is like a 30% gain. Like 400 potentially before a back test of 288. 340. Something like that. What's up, Georgian? Ed Chen, how you doing, man? Apple. Man. I guess send it. Good luck. Yeah. Cheers to everybody who has some Apple. NVIDIA also sending it, heading to 250. I want to talk more about Bitcoin, but what is there even to look at? Massive amounts of metals, energy, and water being gobbled up. Yep. I actually have been considering trying to get on like local boards where I live. I mean, I've always fancied myself to get into an elected position someday. I thought Bitcoin would make me a bajillionaire and then I'd be able to fund myself and then run, but neither here nor there. I've been thinking about it more lately because I feel that we are, especially anywhere where I live, but I don't want any data centers near me. I don't want them anywhere near me. I don't want the sound. I don't want the heat. I don't want the cost of electricity. Like, I don't want them anywhere near me. And I was thinking maybe I'd try to get on like some boards of something so I can help that not happen. There is no reality where an AI data center should move into an area where there's people. and get subsidies, like not have to pay taxes. I don't know, have subsidized electricity. Like, there's no reality where that should happen. And when I say should happen, I mean we, the people that are this country, we're not benefiting from it. They're not creating jobs. They're just using us, and then they're going to jack up our utilities and our cost of living to make money, and we're not going to see any of it. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. We should not let that happen. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is pushing an anti-AI movement. The actor. Interesting. I wonder. And like anti-AI or anti like data center, or we should be building these out in like the ocean. I don't know. Or it's like on the moon. On the moon. Really, I think the answer is we will always be building more compute. It's important how it's done and where it's done and what the impacts are. You're in Texas and they're going up everywhere. Dude, it's not good. It's not good. Future data centers will be cooled using geothermal cooling. Happens when data centers will be quiet and use zero water. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, I would hope. And like I was saying, it's important how it's done. I'm not a fool. Of course, we'll have more compute. We'll always have more compute. But the cost of that compute needs to be weighed. And we are so bad at that. We're terrible. Well, modern capitalism is terrible at that. It values everything outside of, like, it values every important metric at zero. Important metric to like people and humans. Like, I don't know, the noise pollution, the energy pollution, the costs, the pollution, the water usage, the impacts, like those are all valued at zero. It's just like not real capitalism. It's basically forcing everyone, like forcing us to pay, and we are left out of the capitalism equation. Like we don't get compensated. It's not capitalism at all. It's just it's capitalism when it's rich people making money. All right, Tesla moving back to highs. This is a weird. Tesla's a weird chart, man. I think that maybe the SpaceX IPO and all that will change this, but Tesla to me, well, I say this and I zoom out. On lower time frames, more zoomed in, I don't like this. I don't like the like all-time high rejection break of structure in the movement back up. It looks like it wants a lower high and wants to come back down. But then you zoom out and on a bigger time frame, like from 2021 to the low here, it kind of looks like one big structure, one big breakout structure. Just this right here was ugly. It's like a river in the spring, maybe. Daily rolling over. Weekly though, week strong. I think Tesla's good to retest this high, like 488, 500. I wonder what will happen though. I don't know. I'm not convinced that Tesla is doing. Well, I guess that doesn't matter either. I was gonna say I'm not convinced they're doing anything anymore that would warrant like some crazy expansion, like some 3x or something from here. Like Musk's priorities have changed a lot. I think it's at one point when I was a big Tesla fan, Musk's priorities were being a nerd and science. And now his priorities don't seem there. They seem elsewhere. He seems distracted. I don't think that's good for his companies. Honestly, I think he just now is distracted by money, just making more money. I think at some point, it was always been about money for him, but I think in the past, it had been also about other things. Now I think it's only about money and power. BlackRock is the weird sleeper on the China trip. No high today, right at the 200-day moving average, in a falling structure. Daily number lower. I could see more upside though. 11:30. City falling. What else should we look at? I'll take these random requests that you guys wanted to see. We're gonna have to look at silver quick. Silver broke 88. That's interesting. Silver potentially looking for a more meaningful reversal now. Put in a low, higher low, higher high. Broke a resistance, I guess. Now looking at 93. I think it kind of feels like it's been long enough that silver and gold could run again and people would have rotated out. I got an alert on SPX. SPX break all-time high again today. Today. On May 13th. Yes, it did. Wow. I guess send it higher. We are at the 1618 extension here. The 2 measured move, 7,690. That's only 3% away. That's weird. 3% away to that measured move. Every time, the SP 500 has moved to the 2 extension of its like intra-year pullback, it has pulled back again. This is 7,700. It's only 3% away. Could we be 3% from like a yearly top? I wonder. You voted wrong by mistake? That's all right, Triple J. What is the vote doing? How will today's PPI data in oil inventories move markets? Strongly bearish, 34%. Strongly bullish, 22%. Most people saying bearish to choppy. SP 500 seems not to care. Doesn't seem to matter what happens. So I mean, I guess maybe people would say inflation would be bearish because of like a hawkish Fed. But in reality, if we are experiencing inflation, which we clearly are, then that inflation is going to be largely experienced through our indices, through our big pots. And so that almost would push these up by definition, right? I think the problem is that then you are looking at it's not inflation adjusted. If it's inflation adjusted, then things look different. Did we ever break? Nope. Wow. 3%. Remember that. We had 3% from that measured move. 0.4% away from the 2000, not 20, the 2000 SP 500 divided by M2 supply. 5% away from that measured target. 0.3% from the all-time high from 26 years ago of this, basically the stock market versus the M2 supply. Something big's gonna happen. The only way that this plays out in my mind, for God, like the whole world, the only way that this really plays out in my mind is S&P versus M2 breaks its all-time high and goes nuts, like doubles. I guess that's possible. I kind of don't think so. Kind of don't think that's gonna happen though. Like goes nuts, like goes into a parabolic blow off top where we see just the craziest stuff ever. But the problem is that the S&P would not only have to, by definition, you would have to then just see the S&P explode, like double, with no change to M2, or just the constant rate of M2 change, which is just slow climb. In some scenarios, like when we look at gold versus silver or Bitcoin versus gold or things like that, we could say, well, the other pair, the other asset could decline by 50%. And then we could see this happen without a big explosion in the S&P. But that can't happen. The M2 supply will not, in any capacity, move down like that. It will not have, right? So the S&P would have to explode and go parabolic. That's a scenario. I for some reason, I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be the case. Or we reject from here and then we start the big old race to the bottom. That's like 8 years last time. That's wild. I don't know. I'm not a bear, but I don't really see any other way of this coming out. How do we do this? How does this happen? We are so close. Like this is gonna be tested. We've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. Fraction of a percent. Like today's gain. Literally the gain of today on this chart, 0.6. If that happens again tomorrow, we have broken it. Pretty interesting. Those are the scenarios that I could imagine happen. Nobody knows. But certainly we know that things are going to get really, really spicy. When this alert goes off, when this chart breaks, something big will break. I think that there's an argument of over time, especially over a 26-year period of time, this chart should make all-time highs. We should be more efficient. We should be more productive. So we should have a greater valuation versus the supply of money we have versus the last 26 years. We should. But that might be too rational. There might be too much logic there. All we can do and what we're going to do here is we're going to watch it closely. We're going to hold our breath and we're going to see what in the hell happens. That's all we can do. I got on a tangent there. Really fast, make sure you've liked this stream. If you haven't hit the thumbs up button or double tap the stream or subscribed, what are you doing? Come on, man. Come on, man. Do it. Help hype up the stream. What's up, Jonathan Morris? I missed what you're saying. Ranting about rich people, I love it. I love ranting about rich people. YouTube is super shadow banning my stream. You had to manually search for it. Weird. You were here at the beginning though, Robert, right? Lee, that does seem weird. What was Jonathan? Taxes aren't good. Taxes, stop that. Taxes are only supposed to be 1 to 5%. I mean, we haven't been paying 1 to 5% since the country was founded. You had a dream about Elon that he was possessed. I believe you. I believe you had that dream. Billionaires, when they complain about taxes, say they'll move out. Dude, it's such a cope when people are like, if you tax billionaires, they'll leave. What do you think that means? Do you think billionaires like live in one place? Do you think that billionaires live in a house like you and I do, and like that's where they live? You're insane. No, you're not insane. You just have underestimated what that life is. They don't live anywhere. They live like internationally. If they leave, what does that even mean? What, they sell their house somewhere? Who cares? What would they do? What are they gonna take the factories with them? Are they gonna take like these things that are the generating the wealth? Are they gonna bring it with them? No. The things that generate their revenue will remain there. It's silly. It's absolutely silly.
What's up, Tom?
Ooh. Just what's up? What's up, Evan? Bro, how are you, Evan? Evan, why when you super chatted, why is it 200 MX? What even is that pesos? What is that? What is MX? Yeah, they're pesos. Thank you, my friend. Why is it in pesos? What? Are you in Mexico? Silver to 120. Let's get it. I don't think Elon cares about America. No, I don't. I think Elon, maybe he did, but I don't think. If he's not even American, he's from South Africa. What's up, El Matador? Mr. Evan. Hope you're doing well, dude. How your streams going, man? It's rough times. Yeah, they have a state they paid, like, you know, whatever tax to, but let's be real. They ain't paying shit. And then you'll hear that, oh, the top 1% pay 40% of the taxes. They already pay enough taxes, which like sounds like at first you're like, oh shit, yeah, dang, that's hard to argue, right? And then you think about it, well, wait a minute. if they own more than 40% of the wealth and the stuff and make more than 40% of the money, it doesn't matter if they pay 40% of the taxes. Like if they own, and I'm making this up, this isn't real, but like let's say they own 90% of the wealth and the things and the money, they should be paying at least 90% of the taxes then, right? It's silly. It is silly. It's gibberish. I don't know why people defend billionaires. It's because they like want to think that they'll be a billionaire someday, bros. None of us will ever be that. We might be very wealthy, don't get me wrong. Definitely many millionaires in here, multimillionaires, and many of us to be multimillionaires in here. Maybe somebody will have maybe one of us will have $1 billion or something. But to get to those levels of wealth, my friends, to be like $100 billion, like no, not happening. Not happening. How many, I wonder, how many like of the top 0.1% are self-made people like us? And we'll hear numbers. I have a feeling those numbers are doctored and bullshit. I want to say none of the richest people in the world were self-made. And that shows you, because people say, well, they work for it. They work for it. They create value. They do these things. But like in reality, most of them just were born into it. That's the opposite of what we're arguing. And being that like fact of that makes it just so far away from us. It's sad. We all can live better lives. That's what I want. The problem, I guess, though, Evan, with billionaires is they all are on a list with this island related to this guy, because once you're a billionaire, then all of a sudden you want to do terrible things. I don't want to say more words than I should. I don't want YouTube to get mad. More taxes once people, well, we've only really ever voted down taxes, right, in the last few decades. Of course they don't have $1 billion in the bank, but like again, we make these excuses and we play these gymnastics for them, where it's like, well, they don't have $1 billion in the bank. Yeah, no, they don't, but like they aren't paying the taxes even on the money that they do have in the bank. They aren't selling their assets. They're finding loopholes to not pay taxes. They're finding loopholes to not have income. They're like declaring like things for depreciate. Like they're doing everything they can, and I don't blame them. I would do those things too. We should find every way legally we can to pay less, right? To save our money and have as much money as we can. But I don't know. Here's a good start. Let's tax loans. Like when people take loans out, when these kind of people take like loans out against their equity, and they just virtually never repay them because it's the whole way they do it. They pay them slowly over time, but they don't pay virtually any taxes then because it's not income, because it's a loan. Let's tax that. There's a good start. Let's just have the playing field at least be equal. Like just equal. Not even saying disproportionate towards them. Let's just be equal. It's not that much. It's not a crazy concept to think the greatest country in the world, strongest economy in the world, can provide for its people a good life, and that good life doesn't include every year getting squeezed harder and harder and harder and harder. It's not a crazy thought, guys. Maybe we also can start with like healthcare. There you go. Easy. Healthcare, childcare, infrastructure, public services. Like these are not crazy concepts, man. Do you need to be taxed on your LOC? Well, J Trader, are you a bajillionaire, bro? Are you a multi-bajillionaire? If you are, then yes. Then sure. Like, the playing field, dude, waffles, the playing field is not even. Not at all. You could be you're born into one of these top 0.1% families. You can literally do nothing your whole life, and you collect, in T-bonds, like 5% or whatever on $100 billion. And so you collect $5 billion a year contributing nothing, like doing nothing. If that person was removed from the equation, literally, like, I don't even want to say there would be no downside. It's like there would be upside. Like that money could be invested better. It could be used better. And am I saying that every top 0.1% is like that? No, but honestly, I would probably gravitate at the disproportion of wealth that there is, if you like factor in that proportion, then yeah, they're not doing anything. There's no one on this planet that is adding enough value that they are like worth more than 1 million other people combined, 10 million other people combined. That's gibberish. That's 𝐂𝐡. 𝐂𝐴 only tax transactions, but prepping for war, that is like the exact thing that would favor, because that's the exact thing that favors bigger money. Because then you're not taxing like the investments, you're not taxing, I don't know what regressive it's called. It like absolutely hurts poorer people more. Absolutely. I don't know. None of this is crazy, my friends. I just think that there's enough here. I know we're not all in the US, but there's enough here that we all should be able to live good lives. Lives where we don't stress about paying rent from the moment we're adults to the moment we die. Lives where we can have leisure time, not worry about going bankrupt over our health. Like, these are not crazy things. Damn. On the week, we did test the 200-day. On the day, we did not. I would refer to the day, but that's uncomfortable. It's actually brutal looking. Dude, you can have healthcare in the US. You can pay, obviously we pay in taxes towards the healthcare system, but then you can pay out of pocket more than other countries pay through their taxes. And then you can have insurance, and then you can go need healthcare. Like you have a heart attack or something, you go to the hospital and your deductible is enough that you're bankrupt. Like, that's a scam. That's a scam, bros. It's not how it needs to be. It's not how it has to be. Things can change. It just takes change, you know? Unfortunately, we're not really going in that direction right now, I don't feel. I think we're going towards the better for us at the moment. Maybe all these CEOs in China with the president of the United States, maybe that's like maybe that's a sign of things not going in the right direction. Billionaires should not be making decisions for the country. The people who live in the country, the people that are the country, should be making the decisions. We got to figure that out. We got to figure it out. We'll figure it out eventually. Circle was very exciting earlier. Closed below the VWAP again, but maybe it's still good. Not rejected like it did. Middle class is done. There's no middle class now. RIP. Learn, enjoy, relax, bro. I'm new to the channel. Can we describe what the channel's about? That's, if you're here for the last 20 minutes yelling about rich people. What's the channel about? Channel is about trading, about markets, about finance, about assets and investing. I would say this channel is a rarity. One of the few. Also, shout out to Evan. Evan also in that group. One of the few uncorrupted by this line of work. Is Professor Beans growling? Uncorrupted. I think she's growling. We've never accepted money. I've never accepted money to shill you things. I've never promoted rug pulls. I've never put you in harm's way to profit. And that is what makes this channel very unique. Certainly not the only one in existence, but in the top, that same top 0.1% I was just complaining about puts us in there. I'm just a normal guy. I grew up with virtually nothing. I grew up poor. Investing, Bitcoin, mostly Bitcoin, but investing, learning about it, money and investing and Bitcoin changed my life. And this channel is that. It is my hope that I can help others change their life. There you go. Through getting wrecked in longs, apparently. That's how it is right now. That's what it is. Often covering Bitcoin and crypto, though it's been very boring lately, so it's been trying to kind of just branch out so we have stuff to talk about other than Bitcoin's at the same price that it was last time. Everybody's still big sad because it's still here and it's still going down and it's still stressful. You know, I actually kind of like this long then today. 78.6. Can move the stop up just under 78. Didn't fill though. I'll take it. Did Litecoin do anything? Oh god, don't even. I honestly I just like haven't even been looking at Litecoin. Hurts too much. It is crazy to me. It is honestly crazy to me that Litecoin is still at $57. That's like around when I first bought it. I think the first time I bought Litecoin, it was like 30, like low 30 or something. Now it's 57. So like coming up on 10 years for virtually no gain. Someday. I mean, someday. Like I've like looked at things and Litecoin and been like, well, that could be really good looking on the chart. And it's like, here we are again. It's like momentum is rolling over. VWAP's coming up on the month. Like, yeah, maybe we're going for it this time. And it's, I just like can't get excited about it until something happens. I can't do it again. Can't do it. I still believe it will happen. Eventually. Eventually it'll happen. I don't know when. Yeah, people are glazing billionaires hard, man. Glazing. You're a crypto trader, and this is definitely your new channel. Welcome, bro. Welcome. Good shit. Good shit, man. Crypto trading has been, we've been doing this since 2019 on this channel, and never has the crypto market been so bad to trade as the last, I'll say, year plus. Honestly, it peaked to date. It peaked at 21, but like it has been so bad, and like there's been such small windows of like the opportunity that used to be here. I believe it'll come back. I don't know what that looks like for alts or kind of the bigger space. I believe it'll come back. There'll be euphoria again. I don't know when. I'm not gonna pretend I know when or anything, but like this is bonkers, dude. This is bonkers what is happening in this space. I have too many charts pulled up. It's not good for my focus. What were people talking about earlier? Labs, Doge, Labs. Oh, Jay Trader. Jay said, tax the billionaires, but don't open the door for more taxation on normal people. Yeah, I mean, amen, bro. Amen. Absolutely amen. I am not someone. Wow, who was looking at this? Why are they trying to get us to? What? Oh, this stop trading. What were they saying? I guess look at Labs perps. Why would you look at perps if? I don't even know. Maybe that was a bot that got lost. Oh wait, no. Binance has perps. I don't know. There's something at Labs, but this is the index for it. It stopped trading June 25. This rugged. It'd be funny if they were looking at Labs on Bybit. There nothing good about that. What? I don't know what I'm looking at here. There's no spot market for this, so what does this even mean? What even is this? I guess I see why someone would come here and say like, oh, look at it, because I mean, it's up. It's been going up. But what even is this? This is like not real. There's no spot market. It's up 10,000% from the start of the year. Since April of this year, it's up 4,000%. This channel's about shilling rug. Yeah, but like fine woven rugs. What's up, Eggs Denny? Stim Tusk, sure. Let me refresh. Dude, I don't even want to look at this. I don't want people to like look at this and get ideas. This is, what is this? Is there at least more than one exchange trading the perps? Like labs USDT.P OKX. Wait, spot? I don't, this is weird. So like BIC gets trading October 25th. So multiple exchanges like listed it again October last year, and now it's up. Like what the hell? What the hell? I don't know. This is gonna take, I'm gonna need to like take some amount of time and look at this, like what is happening here. But that's very weird, bros. Persian, yes, Persian rugs. Oh, what I was saying is I wouldn't have in theory issues with paying more taxes if that money was actually going to, like, if it actually like improved anything. If that money went to anywhere but subsidizing companies and billionaires. There you go. If it was like we were paying taxes but we were getting, healthcare. If our roads were better, if our infrastructure was better, like then I wouldn't have an issue with it. But that's just not what happens. If we pay more taxes, it just goes into the pot. It just goes up. It trickles up. The trickle up system. Remember ordinals? Yeah, I heard ordinals. The Ordinal Explorer was shut down due to lack of just anything. I mean, ordinals is another thing I never got into, dude. It's like, because it just, what's the value? I think I did buy some Ordi, which I am now down infinite percent on, clearly. Infinite percent on. Yikes. We were looking at dog the other day. That's an ordinal. I kind of don't think these things will ever like truly come back. Certainly they could rally, they can trade back up, but like I wouldn't expect something like this to ever go to all-time high again. I'm saying this, and I certainly bought. Oh no, I bought some here at like 30. So for a very long time I was up, and then I mean it wasn't a lot of money. I do remember because I wrote YOLO here. I bought some live as it broke out. This was the end of 23 Gs. So it doesn't seem that long ago. I remember because it was like an awesome trade. It was like, whoa, caught a good one. A great lesson for everyone out there. You can catch awesome trades, especially things are pumping, euphoric, going up. You can catch some of that at times, but you never get off the ride. Never get off the ride, right? You always think it's going to keep going up. It always ends. I was up 3x pretty quickly, and now I'm down 85% because I didn't take any profits. Great reminder that when you're in profit, it's always a good idea to just lock a little bit in, lock a little bit of that position in. Make it a win. It's not a win until you've locked something in. It rhymes, so you know it's true. Lock it in. You don't have to sell half of it or something. You sell 5%, 1% even, just something. Lock it in, because this is going to come. It's always coming. Ball smack, Doge, sure. It's doing better than it has been. Doge, I still have, I don't even know. I don't know how much it's worth now. 5 figures of Doge coins. Not, I don't know if I don't know if it's worth 5 figures. 5 figures of Doge coins. And man, that sell off really got me worried. February. You broke just everything. The recent price action looks different than the price action since October. It does look like a reversal of some kind of trend. But the chart is starting to look like just everything else over time. It was just 4 years late, you know, like you look at Litecoin or something. And it's like you have the 2017 rally and the 21 rally and then the 2025 rally. And it's like, is that what's going to happen now? Are we just going to see Doge go into the next cycle and put in a lower high? Like, I hope not. I like Doge. I've always liked Doge. That's why it was one of my biggest W's. But not returning to all-time high in this cycle is bad. It was bad. 20 cents I think is very reasonable for maybe this quarter. I was so convinced before October. We still have never found out what happened in October. I don't think. Before October, I was absolutely convinced this was going to all-time high. Like, this is so strong. It's crazy strong. And then October happened. That wick just reversed it. All the energy just seemed to be gone and just traded right back down, moved to a previous low. I hope my jadedness about Doge is misplaced. I hope that ages badly. That's my honest opinion on Dash. Dash, I first learned about Dash when I started crypto, 17. I remember not buying it because it was like everybody else when you're new. It was like 400. I don't know when I like learned about it because it wasn't on Coinbase. And I was like, nah, that's too expensive. I was like, I could only get 0.1 of it. See, I was like everybody else when I started. Honestly, I'm not sure why people would buy it. It seems to pump with ZEC for some reason. Like when ZEC is pumped, Dash is pumped. I don't know that much about it outside of like, you know, privacy or whatever. And the thing is, since 2014, it's like Doge era. 12 years. Its history has not been so kind. Virtually everyone who's ever bought it is a bag holder. Virtually. It has kind of what I was saying about Doge, right? It's like you had one run, another cycle came and left, you didn't break all-time high. Another cycle came and left, you didn't break all-time high. The chart is interesting. It's interesting because especially this recent price action is not like most of the space, where most of the space looks exactly the same. It's just down 99% or whatever since the high recently. This is different. Like the chart is different. You were looking really good here at the end of 25. These lower highs and lower lows kind of suck. You've begun an uptrend again. I wouldn't be surprised to see Dash trade higher than 44, which it is today. I don't believe Dash will ever go back to all-time high. 1600. If it's lucky, maybe it trades to like 400. Don't know. The Bitcoin pair of it is interesting. This is what virtually everything looks like when you allow enough time to pass. Where is this? Virtually all coins against Bitcoin look like this. They're just a falling channel, like identical to Litecoin. This has my interest. Like I'm watching this Bitcoin pair closely because that is interesting. It has potential. It has broken out of that downtrend. It's held support. It failed the high, but it held support again. It's kind of inching back up on the week. We haven't seen coins do this though. That's the problem. We haven't seen that maybe ever happen. If Dash does it, it'd be like the first, one of the first maybe I've ever seen. This is kind of cool, and I didn't even look at this recently. Down on the day, you've like broken out. Maybe you're back testing, maybe you're rejecting. It's interesting. Like I'm watching. I'm not optimistic simply because I stay rational. Stay in the logic, and the logic is like, well, this doesn't really seem to happen. The market isn't really hot. Expecting it to happen now feels pretty hopium-ish. I guess I placed this long down here. It probably can be right here, 41. Looking for a little lower prices. Take profit at 67. I don't know. What do you guys think? I kind of feel like it's just pumpy dumpy. Pumpy dumpy. Humpty Frumpty. Guys, I haven't played Arc Raiders in like a month now. Game did not age great. There's nothing to do. Cool game though. I think the game really feels like a team, like an awesome team built it to be some game. Like, I don't know, a game that it isn't, but like this awesome team built it. And then like as soon as it went public, as soon as like the game started and went live, they got rid of that whole team and then hired like a bare bones, like they're a public traded company team where it's like, these guys all suck, but they can keep the servers running. And it's like this potentially beautiful thing that just, I don't know, they just like don't care. It's weird. It feels like a different team operates it now than built it. And whoever built it, an awesome team. Pooch, I do remember you mentioning ASML for the first time. Every time I pull up ASML, I think of you. Every time I pull up SanDisk, I think of Nimoy. There we go. That took forever. Pooch, you remember? I remember you bringing this chart up. Do you remember me talking about? I think even the first time you talked about it, talking about the back test of this trend line and then moving on to all-time highs. It took forever. It took a really long time, but it did it. We did it, baby. What's up? Ann Yarin, Tirawat, Ben Lutz. Who else is here? Duvidas. Who else is out there? If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. YouTube.com/TomCrown. We're live on a lot of platforms. You can subscribe on any of them. Interesting. TikTok hasn't kicked us off. TikTok, we stopped streaming to TikTok because they kept shutting down the live streams and saying that we were like getting violations, but then there wouldn't be violations. It's very weird. I wonder if it's because I was starting the streams with like, join us over on YouTube. Maybe that's why. But we've been going an hour and a half there and we're still live. Cool. We're live on X, although X has buried crypto traffic, bros. Like, buried crypto traffic. Absolutely. Such a good trade, though. Jess, if you're here, Jess was like, Tom, what's an AI ticker I should buy? And I said, ASML. Maybe she did. Maybe she's in the green. What's up, Crimson? Like stream. Thank you. Thank you, Eggs. Won't somebody think of the poor billionaires? The poor billionaires that they live such hard lives. They have struggles so much greater than yours and mine. Like what Rolex to buy, what Bentley to have their driver drive them in. What's up, not meme? Yeah, it is. What's up, Seabass? How you doing, bro? Alts aren't dead, are they? I mean, a lot of them are. Oh, alts are dead, aren't they? Probably. I mean, I'm sure we'll have alt season-esque times in the future, but you know, how many of the ones that exist now will like break all-time high and have big runs? Probably single digits. Probably the big runners of the future will be new BS. Yeah. Thanks to Binance. Yeah. Shout out to Binance for October 10th. ASML is looking very good though. This Thanks for reminding me, Tillin. I think I got an alert a while ago and never like followed up again. Send it to 2000. Can I get a 2000-y? That looks so prime. Long it, baby. Ondo will beat XRP to $5, says Trinity. Oh, I'll be contrarian. Neither of them ever to $5. Oh, burn. Maybe, I don't know. I have no affinity for either coin. I'll long Ondo at 28 cents if it comes. I'll long. Core PPI has an opposite on gold. Stuck in the range 47, went down after an hour. Where are you, gold? I have so many charts up, bros. It's just an infinite amount of charts up right now. I don't even know if I can find the gold. Actually, I see a little icon. Here we are. You know, I don't know what's happening with gold. I thought gold would retrace faster when it fell. Silver moving is interesting. It's giving me some hope that gold will look for the 5100 range. Silver's making moves. Somebody on the last stream asked if they should short Solana, and it was at, I don't know, like 94, 95, something around there. And I was like, I'd wait for like 100. And then I said 120. 125 would be like pretty sold on shorting. Solid. Solana, dude, I'm gonna hurt some feelings here. I don't think this ever goes to all-time high again. Look at the market cap, dude. If it does, like, if the market cap ever goes to all-time high, I feel like they'll dilute the supply so much that it just like dollar value won't. It is interesting though because it's only down 72%. I thought it was less than that. This looks like a tiny retracement. In the last bear market, Solana went down with the FTX stuff 96%. This time it's only gone down 61. 96% put it all the way down here. Solana versus Ethereum is still selling. Never reached this. What a fake out. If Solana versus ETH reaches 0.15, maybe I'll swap ETH to Solana. I don't know. This chart was such hopium, but it was based in reality. He broke the high. Look for the extensions. I never got into Solana. I had some of it, but like never was on the Solana train like a lot of people. Solana versus BTC hit support recently, which is good. Need to see more of a reaction out of it. None really yet. Where's Ethereum? It's so much pulled up. Well, what else are we doing today, boys? We've been live for like 2 hours. We've been doing long streams with like not a lot to talk about. What are we doing today? I definitely got stopped out on Ethereum. Or liquidated. I think I lost $300. ETH broke its low against Bitcoin. Send it to 0.25. Send it down. Send it on down. Yeesh. Never hit 0.5. That's crazy. That's crazy talk. Look at this shit. I can't believe I got liquidated on that. I can't believe it was 10x. But like, I've never seen this before on Ichimoku Cloud on the day. Cross down, cross up, cross down, cross up, cross down, cross up. This is some very spicy manipulation going on in this chart. What are we, bullish or bearish on Ethereum? Certainly versus Bitcoin, I'm bearish. Go retest support. Where's that? Let me see if I can find the trade that got wrecked. Nope. I don't feel like going digging. But it definitely got wrecked. What was like right here. Not gonna do that. Not gonna look into it. Too much work. What else are we doing? How is total market cap looking? Thank you, Das Peach. Peach is my boy. He knows. He knows like that I just need prodding sometimes, especially when we're on these long streams. How's total looking? Really similar to Bitcoin. Total creeped up. Didn't quite hit November's low like Bitcoin did. Where's the 200 week on this bad boy? Total hit. I didn't know this. Did you guys know that total in February perfectly tested the 200 week moving average and has only put in higher highs on the week since? I didn't. That's kind of spicy. That's kind of bully. Didn't hit the 200 week either, or 200 day either. It's like Bitcoin. Same thing. Oh, there's just not a lot going on. The whole space has been doing a nothing. Nothing at all. Just like Ned Flanders. Nothing at all. Bitcoin dominant? Sure. We can look at that. The casino is empty, I know. The thing is, when the casino has been empty in the past, that was the bottom. It emptied really fast. Are you the only gal in chat, not meme? I don't know. Certainly not a large percent of the viewers are female, especially not during these times. But when things are more kind of spicy and euphoric, I think we've had about 10% female in the past. It's not the only female who's been here today. We had a few. I recognize the names. Julie was here. Jess was here. Yeah, we're just right where we were. I wish I had something like new and groundbreaking to share of like everything. You know, the one thing I did have that was groundbreaking and did change everything was the Bitcoin gold chart. Let's check back in on that. Not Bitcoin gold, but Bitcoin versus gold. Still climbing. This week it's down. Not a lot. No 200 day. No 200 week. This chart, like, I think Bitcoin versus gold has bottomed. I made that claim a while ago, but I think that it's bottomed. So if gold's going to move up, Bitcoin got to move up. I think Bitcoin versus gold is looking for like 20 to 21 to 1. 1 Bitcoin equal 21 ounce. Shall we talk about 1 XRP per barrel of oil? No. We should not. Platinum recovered. Monero. Long-term holding starting to feel like a lifetime. It is a lifetime. Dude, I'm right there with you. Like, Bitcoin changed. It's still like Bitcoin has changed my life. Never, like I was very poor. Never would be where I am now without it. But I guess I expected by now that Bitcoin would be much higher when I was in the euphoria of years prior. And it really feels like it's stagnated so much. It's rough. It's rough. It's hard to keep faith, right? But that's probably what we need. And that's probably what the space needs. Bitcoin was like becoming too much of a sure bet over the last cycle. Crypto president and ETFs and whatever. Maybe that's probably what we needed. We needed a period of time where there's capitulation on that front. It hurts though. Especially me, man. I'm like all in. I'm all in, not just investment wise, but like, this is my job. This is like what I do every day. Hurts. Patience will be rewarded, though. It always has been. Monero looking good to break 420. That retracement sucked from the all-time high, which we called. Saw me take profit live. That retracement sucked, but it's still looking like it looked. And just hit a high, fell back down. Hit a high, fell back down. Higher low, higher low, higher low. Climbing back up just like it did. I like Monero. I think I'm still bully. Too late for Rondo, says Jenkin. Cryptomyalysis. Oh, yeah, I wanted to tell you something, dude. Sometimes, I don't know if you do this every day. Sometimes you publish videos and you'll publish like 10 2-minute videos like at the same time. You should not do that, my friend. You should not. You should not do that. Pro tips. On YouTube, you get 3 notifications a day for a channel in like a 24-hour period. I don't know when it resets, don't ask. But you get 3. So 3 pieces of content will get notifications, and it'll be the first 3. When you publish like 10, you have 7 that aren't going to get notifications, which in of itself is bad for the content. But what happens is when you publish like 10 in a row, and I go to my subscription or someone else does feed, it'll just have your videos like in a just like clogging up the feed, and nobody likes that. And on top of that, you're hurting yourself. You're hurting these videos because you can only watch one video at a time. I know that sounds silly. And so when you publish 10 videos at a time and people see 10 of them or whatever, even if they watch one, that's 9 videos that got an impression that didn't get a click. So YouTube says people aren't really, they're not clicking these. The people who like the content. I personally, in the past, have many times unsubscribed from channels that publish a ton of videos at once. What you should do is you can use the scheduling tool, and even if you just spread them out by like an hour, that's better than all at once. Better than that, you probably should combine them into a little bit longer clips and only try to publish like 3 a day. That's my real advice. Thanks for the entertainment over the years. Thank you, Froggy Mania. Appreciate you, man. If Clarity Act passes, will Coinbase stop paying yield on USDC? I guess if they have to. I would assume. Did we figure out yet what Trump and the CEOs are doing in China? Have they told us? Has the Fed chair nomination vote gone through yet? TikTok's so weird. There's all these people that like join, but they don't say anything. They just join and leave, I guess. Welcome, TikTok. Expected 2 p.m. Oh yeah, Powell. Powell's last day as the chair is Friday. Epic. Totes epic. I don't know what you said. Let me see. What did Meow say? I'm not saying any of that to call you out. I'm just honest, like good advice of something that may not be totally obvious when you start the YouTubes. What if we look back and sub 80K is the chance of a lifetime? Midwest Picker, I 100% believe that will be the case eventually. 100%. Eventually, every price I've ever seen on Bitcoin, it's always come a time where we've looked back and been like,
Thank you for the
there you
tip.
go.
I really appreciate you explain that. 3 clips per day. I can schedule because I use Opus. Don't unsub. Lol. I will make this change
I didn't.
today.
There you go, bro. Nah, no problem. Yeah, I said that out of love. You'll also notice like no one else does it, and that's why. But yeah, I appreciate you, dude. But every price, what I was saying, every price eventually, no matter how high it was, no matter how impossible people said that price was to begin with, eventually, after enough time, we've looked back, and that was it. It never came again. So I believe that. AAIO, yes, I got an alert for AAIO again. I think I pulled it up, but I wasn't really looking at it. What's that TP on Philly USD? I can look. AIO, yeah, still rocking. 220. I'm sure I was talking about an entry at 103, maybe. This thing's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Everything I don't own is going nuts. It's always hard to make calls like this. You're at 221. It's like $500, 500, $600, and still cooking. Jumping in now is so dangerous. You know, you jump in now, I just guarantee it goes down tomorrow. But I don't know. There you go. This seems like a terrible trade. This is what I would do. I'd wait down here. 100. Just really difficult. You know, I keep running into this problem. It's really difficult to trade things at all-time highs, especially after they've broken all-time highs and are just running. It's like you're buying an upwards knife. It's the same as selling something that's big old red candle down at all-time low. Filecoin, what was it?
More than anything, I'm just glad that 𝐿 finally got the data. _CHERPOWW.
Finally he got that data. Just in time not to be the chair. And unfortunately I cannot share that data. I can't say a word about it. Swore to secrecy. Where's this file? I had a Filecoin chart up. Sworn to secrecy. But you know, he probably really makes him feel good. You know, he finally did it. Where's the TP? So $1.66. They're looking at a Filecoin entry. I mean, we already had the entry. We already had the entry back here. I guess the same trade can be made again. The TP, maybe the TP is too high. Maybe the entry is too high. I hate that. Yeah, I like that. $1, you know I can't resist $1. I seize $1, I targets $1, you know? Whether it's a resistance or support, I see $1, I can't fight it. I think that's playable. $1 at $1.66, sure. Could also still get a good risk reward just targeting $1.31. On these fries, I appreciate you, Frog. You're the best. What are we looking at today? Just got here, T-Mac. I don't know. Everything. We're like 2 hours in. Been looking at everything. Watching the paint dry more than almost any other thing we're doing. We're just watching it. My voice is slowly crapping out. Coherent Group. A lot of these companies that are in China with Trump right now are pushing. So wonder why. I don't really wonder why. We know why. Why are they even in China? Anything on X? What's trending on X right now? Vote Massey. Vote Macy. You know, I really was liking Macy, and then I feel like maybe Twitter hit him. I don't know. I no longer see his stuff. Did he stop talking, or did Twitter just like completely bury him? Twitter, I feel like just loves burying. Platform of free speech, as long as you agree with Elon Musk. As long as that free speech is what Elon Musk says. Trending in the United States, the word trunk. Liz Smith, I don't know what that is. Bel Air. Attractive is trending in the United States. What kind of words are those? ASE, what is that? The ticker ASE is trending. Number 1. Gold Corporation. Why is this trending? This chart looks like this. It looks like Bitcoin at like 120K. It's like years ago reached this zone and now it's just moving up and down. Why is this trending? Oh, I see. Because this isn't trending. It's some BS crypto thing. Some crypto thing. Yeah, we aren't looking at that. Gotta love how literally scams, because it's like certainly a scam. You gotta love how scams can get to #1 trending on Twitter. China's trending. Beijing. iPads. Planet Fitness. What really boring. Really boring words. I guess it's good in this year, you know? It's like a boring, nothing going on day. It's like the best we can ask for. No new wars. We haven't yelled about taking over another country. Maybe it's good. Brent is down, dude. What a weird market day. Closing another hourly candle as the paint dries. The data. Is it data or data? Time to look at Tao? Sure. We got time for whatever. I don't even know what to do. I'm just burning time. IGV says super finance, bro. Okay. IGV. Let me check this quick. Broke structure, lower high. Doesn't look great. This does not look super strong. It was doing really good till here. This goofed it up. At least it's not at all-time high. I feel like you're going to trade back to like 250. You're rolling over. I wouldn't be surprised to see something like this. I'm highly skeptical of anything, any altcoin that like is pumping in this environment. It's like skepticism is probably the play. Wait, what is this? IGV. Never heard of it. I'm sure it's something very normal that makes me sound bad. That I've never heard of it. iShares. Oh wait, I know it. Wait, is this the thing that people were yelling about Bitcoin being like, it's like leading Bitcoin or something? I do know of it. I guess my question a lot of the time in these moments when people are looking at stuff like this is like, well, what value of it? What value is it? You know? Maybe could we do something like look at 92 on IGV, and then if IGV breaks 92 and Bitcoin hasn't moved, we could say that we're going to look for Bitcoin to break its high, something like that. I suppose. They certainly are very, very similar here. They're lows in February on the same day. Wow, this traded down lower than that, so kind of diverged there. The low, low in November and the low in February were coincided, but I would also guess like a bunch of things likely had the same moves there. I know I've like seen this comparison. I don't know if I have seen exactly like kind of actionable, tradable conclusions drawn on it. In many ways, like, you know, anytime people are like, oh, look at this correlation, I think about like M2, where it's like a logical correlation, it just doesn't end up playing out. I don't know. So super finance, tell me, how are you using this in your trading, or how are you going to interpret this, or, you know, what value are you finding from it? I'm curious, because that might give me some ideas to work on. I see similarities. I also make the argument that markets in general all kind of move, whether they all seem to move somewhat related, somewhat correlated. Where stuff's overwhelming, yeah, it is. STRC is performing very well for Master. I wonder, just like how. What happened with James Winley? He's a LARPing bitch. I mean, you know, he's a LARP. Just like all of his stuff was made up. Like all of the rugs he launched, all the BS. Surprise, surprise, his threats towards me were also BS. I guess shocking no one. I mean, just LARP in every direction. That's about what you concluded as well. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's fair. It's fair. I set an alert, you know, check it out. What's up? �EFW volume was big. Okay. INJ showing a potential top, probably. Probably doesn't quite get how AI, blockchain, crypto go together, but they know something's happening. That's fair. AI and blockchain just aren't. They're more similar than people think, than people are aware of, but they're also, I don't know, just like less the same than people think. The biggest similarity I would say is that AI and blockchain both use like at least Bitcoin proof of work, that compute power at the core of it is the same. It's like the same heart and soul and blood and engine. But other than that, I don't know, they're not really that similar. I think there's synergy with them. Maybe with its current iteration of LLM models and stuff, maybe not. But down the road. Thank you for the live stream, of course, brother. Thank you for being here. I'm getting tired and my voice is crapping out. I forgot I had water. He was full of it. Duh. Dan, digital asset, or that's Rob. Real AI will operate on the blockchain. I kind of disagree, Mark. At least AI like it is now, like it is such a large compute that it doesn't make sense that it would be on chain, and it is not efficient to do things on chain. It is inefficient at the value of decentralized or immutable. To decentralize, like to put AI on chain is I mean, probably will happen in some iteration, but I don't know if there's like really value there. The value that I see, or the synergy or whatever between them, would be that I assume AI will eventually use blockchain to verify, like look at chains to verify information, to verify transactions, to verify information. But it being on chain itself, I don't know. I don't know if there's really like a value there, other than, I mean, certainly we'll have coins and shit launched where people are like, it's the first AI on blockchain. It's like, oh, it's just the least efficient AI ever. Cool. People will buy it. Price will go up and down. But it's self-on. Like there's synergy between them. Logical synergy in the future. But I'm just not so sure it's on chain. Yeah, like I absolutely think that AI, especially, we're already here. We're at a point in the future where so much slop is created, and we've always been creating slop, but like slop is now exponentially being created, and it's going to crowd out all real information. AI doesn't know. Like AI can't look at information and be like, this is AI slop or not. Not in the real sense, right? It will inevitably get in a loop of learning off of it, you know, its own slop, and that'll hurt it. But blockchain can be a way that AI can look at information and like index it and say, okay, this is true information, whatever that means, whether it's like a definition of a word or like a timeline or whatever. It can look and say, okay, this is true. This is something true. And that assessment is going to get harder and harder and harder. It's already hard. It's already impossible, like at this point, to like always know what's AI or not. I'm starting to think some things are AI that aren't, just because I'm like so paranoid. I think there's a lot of value there to kind of anchor information. But on-chain AI, I've heard people say things like that. It sounds like buzzwords to me. It doesn't really make sense. I wouldn't put it past us to try it, but I think it'll just create a really inefficient blockchain or really inefficient AI. It's just like not as good as the others. Man, look at these crap charts. Everything in crypto is crapped. It's crapped. Smart young cab, bro. Thank you, Mark. I have a lot of time to think about these things. And a lot of, really like a lot of my ideas come from, you guys bringing me stuff, you guys just coming out with new ideas, new angles, presenting arguments. Like, you guys keep me honest. I can't just say things because people are listening and they'll call me out. So I have to think about things. I have to come with receipts. Circle still looks good. Go Circle. Papa Chuck, I'm still here, baby. Not for long. We've been live 2 hours. It's probably a good time, guys. You should subscribe to the channel. We're live here pretty much daily for years and years and years and years and years to come. Even when crypto is really boring, we're here. You should subscribe. You should like the stream. You should join the Discord, discord.gg/TomCrown. You should get to the Discord. You should join the youtube.com/TomCrown. Sign up with our partners, Femex and BYDFi. Links in the video description below. They're in the Discord. You'll get VIP roles in our community just for using them. You support the stream, and they're great exchanges to use. We'll be live again on Friday, Chirpow's last day as Fed chair. Maybe we'll be live before then if something crazy happens. What's up, Lolly Gill? Laylee Gill? Good to have you. Maybe we'll be live before then. Bitcoin has a shot at something spicy if it can move up today. And until then, I think let's wrap it, boys and girls. I love you.